I am Chris Zellner, Asymmetry's Chief Operating Officer.
I am Alex Virgilio, Partner and Analyst.
I'm Zarek Kershid, Analyst.
I am Scott Kay, CIO, and this is Asymmetry. Asymmetry Capital is dedicated, long-short healthcare investment fund that is creative, innovative, and dynamic in its investment approach.
Asymmetry is a fundamental-based, long-short hedge fund based in San Francisco.
Asymmetry Capital Management is creative, objective, and aggressive.
Asymmetry is a diversified, lower net, low volatility, and low correlation equity long-short healthcare fund.
I started Asymmetry after I left Partner Fund Management, and I started because I had a background in healthcare, having worked at pharmaceutical company Pfizer. And I started because I had my own distinct style of investing, which was deep dive, less momentum, more kind of time arbitrage. And I've been investing for 21 years. The most relevant learnings that I took over from my previous firms were, one, how important risk management was, and then secondarily, estimate to nut style drift. And this was what we were going to build the firm on. My signature style investing is finding asymmetric opportunities, is to actually uncover value where others are not seeing value.
The generation of new ideas is an evolving process. Typically starts with tracking an industry or a given company for a number of years. Oftentimes we identify inflections in a market or new product introductions.
Asymmetry is the name of the firm, and in fact, asymmetry is exactly what we do. And asymmetry matters in finding the best ideas on the long and the short side. Understanding if there is 10% downside and 50 to 100% upside on a long idea is critical. And on the short side, if we can find ideas that have minimal upside, so asymmetric downside, 50 to 100%, those are the best ideas on the short side.
We often generate ideas by recognizing price dislocations, and those dislocations lead us down a path towards understanding perception versus reality gaps.
We describe our research process using an acronym that we call CSMNE. The C stands for calls. That's the in-depth, deep dive work that we do, and that could mean anything from going out to seeing companies to analyzing data to going to conferences. That's the C in the CSM&E. The S are surveys, and that's our own sort of proprietary surveys that we write and we send out, and we use that to sort of aggregate more data to give us more of a breadth of information. The M in the CSM&E are the models. We build our own models, and we have valuations on every company, so we understand sort of what it's worth on the upside, what it's worth on the downside. And then the E is the expectation, and that's essentially the stock.
And this is something that's core to the process of what we do here at Asymmetry Capital Management. And the first step in that process is to come up with an investment thesis. Number one, we talk about how much the stock is going to move, and we quantify that. Two, we talk about by when that stock will move. Three, we talk about the logic as to why we think that will move. And then four, we provide our conviction to others, whether our confidence is high, medium, or low in that.
The research process here at Asymmetry Capital Management is incredibly rigorous, starting with a financial model for all of the companies that we're involved in. Additionally, we have deep and detailed write-ups that we articulate to the firm.
So we approach investing from the portfolio perspective, where we look from a top-down perspective. We want to have a well-balanced portfolio. So we'd like to have roughly half of the portfolio in non-therapeutics, the other half of the portfolio in therapeutics. Liquidity is paramount for us, so we're looking for a certain dollar liquidity per day. We want to have, from a portfolio perspective, no imbalances in factors, whether it's growth, value, momentum, crowdedness, short interest, and we want to have a very clear idea that this is innovative and that we know where the upside is and the pathway to actually see the performance to the stock.
For the most part, we're trying to decide whether or not a new therapeutic or new drug will work, and making that decision is all about the science.
The investment philosophy of Asymmetry is to go deep into the fundamentals of the company, to know the products, to know the financials, to know the pipeline as good, if not better than even the insiders in the company. And then ultimately to build a position in the company that is a significant size, and to be early, to recognize that there's value in the company or too much value in a company before others actually get there. And then we can reap the benefits as the stock goes up or down from there.
Asymmetry adds value to a diversified portfolio. One, because healthcare is a large and very significant sector that should be in every investor's portfolio.
An allocator should invest in Asymmetry because we have the people, the process, and the ability to create a portfolio that will withstand multiple different environments. We are dynamic, we are introspective, and we understand risk. We will protect the portfolio when needed, but we will also perform and take risk appropriately when needed.
We offer lower net, diversified healthcare exposure. By that I mean we invest across all healthcare subsectors based on a deep dive fundamental investment process focused on underlying valuation and looking for asymmetric return potential. The prospect of gain is significantly greater than the likelihood of a loss on the investment.
I think Asymmetry is unique in that it has a unique combination of industry expertise, scientific acumen, and a deep process that allows us to have very high conviction.
Investing in Asymmetry at any time is a great idea, mostly because our investment process and our investment team is A+. It's top of the game. There's always a situation where we're going to uncover something. There's always an opportunity we're going to find.
I truly believe that the caliber of the team is second to none. We have a top decile research team and research process. The research process is structured and repeatable, so it should have persistence of outperformance.
An allocator should invest in Asymmetry Capital Management for objectivity, expertise in life sciences, and an aggressive approach to understanding a very dynamic industry and investment landscape within the healthcare field.
The Asymmetry team is very excited about the future. We see continued interest in growing the equity long-short funds.
The future's bright for me and Asymmetry. I plan on doing this for as long as I can. This is a passion for me. It's something I absolutely love. I think Asymmetry, we would likely close the main fund in the next couple years at sort of that sub-billion-dollar range and look to raise a couple other funds. So I could see Asymmetry being a couple $1 billion in assets over the next few years. And I'm excited to really be part of that growth and lead the team.